Have you ever gotten paid and the next thing you know, it is gone? And you're like, okay, so where did my money go? Because I just got paid and literally my whole check is gone already. I have definitely been there, but when I started budgeting, I was able to see exactly where my money was going. I wasn't wondering what happened to it. And I also was able to come up with a plan. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take control of your finances and not let your finances have control over you. And if you're new here, my name is Tashana and I love personal finance. And I'm also passionate about teaching people how to be good financial stewards. And so let's get into creating your budget. So when it comes to creating the budget, the first thing that I like to do is first create goals for yourself. I think goal setting is really important when it comes to creating a budget because you want to identify what is it that you want out of life? What is it that you are trying to achieve? Are you trying to increase your savings? Are you trying to buy a new home? You want to identify what is it that you currently want to achieve that you're working towards, but it's just difficult for you right now. Set those goals, write them down on paper, because when you set your goals and you're able to visually see, okay, this is what I'm working towards, is motivating, and you're probably going to be more inclined to create a budget and actually stick to it. The next thing you want to do when it comes to creating a budget is identify all of your income. Whatever income is coming in every month, you want to identify that and write it down on paper. Number 3, expenses. This is where you're going to write down every single thing that usually comes out of your account each month. And so this is where you also might want to go through your bank statements to really get a true picture of what's coming out, because sometimes we have things coming out that we don't even remember that we signed up for, that we don't even know. And that's contributing to that feeling of okay, so where did my money go? I like to separate my expenses into 2 categories. The first category is my needs category. So this is going to be my mortgage or my rent, my utilities, food, insurance, stuff like that. I like to put all those expenses on one side of the paper. And then on the other side, I like to put my wants. And so these are all the things that come out each month that I don't necessarily need, like subscriptions, or if I get my hair done every single month, if I get my nails done every single month. I mean, it just really depends on what is a need and want for you. To some people, getting your hair and nails done is a need, and you might keep that on your need list. But I just like to separate what is the difference between things that I need to live and things that I want to live, because we're going to go back to that later. And so write out all your expenses. Like I said, make sure you check your bank statements to get a complete picture of what's going out. Now that you have all of your expenses written down, add everything up, all of your expenses and what they cost, and get that total. Once you have the total of all of your expenses, you're going to subtract this total from your income. This is going to allow you to see what is it that I have left over after all of my expenses are paid, after all my bills are paid, after everything that comes out. What is it that I have left over each month? And this is when you're going to be able to identify where you stand financially. Are you spending more than you make, or are you well within your income? You're also going to be able to identify what things you need to cut out. For some people, when you subtract your expenses from your income, you may get a negative number. And so this is where you start to see, okay, so what is it that I maybe can cut down on so that I'm not spending more than I make? That's why I like to separate my expenses from wants and needs, because it's easy for me to just go back to that wants list and say, okay, so this is not a need for me. So once you go back and adjust some things, if you can, pat yourself on the back, because you now know what is going out every month. There will be no more guessing. You have a full picture of your financial situation. And I like to create a budget every single month. Creating a budget is not just something that I do once a year and then I just leave it, because you're going to have expenses that vary from month to month. Really, expenses that may vary from week to week, honestly. And so I like to create a budget every single month so that I can evaluate the month prior, see if there were any changes, and then complete an accurate budget for the following month. A bonus tip for creating a budget is to also track your expenses after you have created that budget. So let's just say in your budget, you say that you spend $400 a month on groceries. I know that's super low. This is just a figure. actually go back into your bank statement after that month is over and see what you actually spent on groceries. So when you track your expenses after the month is over, it allows you to be able to identify, like, what are you over budgeting for? What are you under budgeting for? So that you can create a more accurate budget for the next month. So if you're listening to what I'm saying and you're like, okay, like I get it, but like I kind of need something like more to like help me. I actually have a resource to help you create a budget. I last year created a 12-month financial planner, and it has templates, trackers, everything, tips, everything that you would need to help you successfully create a monthly budget. This is what the planner looks like. And like I said, I'll go ahead and show you what one of the templates look like. You're going to have your space for income, your needs, your wants. Here you're going to calculate what is your remaining balance after you subtract your expenses from your income. And here you're going to be able to set your goals. So when you have money left over, you're able to set goals and allocate that extra money to other things. And so if you need a planner, I use this every single month. And if you are a digital girly, there's also a digital version as well. You don't have to have a hard copy. This planner has been a staple in my family. So if you want one, go to faithmeetsgoals.com to get you either a physical copy or a digital copy. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about how to stick to the budget that you have created, because it's one thing to create a budget, but it's another thing to actually abide by it and stick to it. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to stay disciplined and stay on track when it comes to your budget. If you found this video helpful, leave me a comment, let me know. If you have any questions, also leave me a comment and let me know as well. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video where we cover how to stick to your budget.